So when we get past what happens initially at training camp, which is players have to take physicals, they get measured for everything, all that sort of thing to get them prepared to get on the field. Once they get on the field, give us a feel for what those first reps look like in practice, from the grassroots ground level, just getting started.
Mark, I tell you, one of the most beautiful things you hear is when the guys, that initial roar, guys are coming out the locker room, fired up, screaming, helmet in hand, and they're running out there, and they hit that white line and they're going. And coaches are out there, grad assistants, student assistants are out there. You hear that very first whistle blow and get on the line. You start out with something just to get the blood flowing and get the energy going. You got high knees or something like that. They're just firing out of their 2-point stances and getting fired up, doing up downs, whatever. Then we get them out there in the stretch lines. And as they're on those stretch lines, Mark, you're walking up and down and hey, remember this, remember that. It's go time. It's go time. It's time to, everybody's talking and the DBs are talking to receivers. O-line, D-line don't really do that much talking. You're going to see that in a couple of minutes when we go do one-on-one. So there's no need to be talking too much there. But receivers are talking trash. Quarterback's kind of quiet, trying to make sure he's focused in on what blah, blah, blah. So most people kind of leave them alone. Don't go over there and bother them. But DBs, man, my favorite people to walk by and say something because they're going to fire me up. They're going to, they're cracking jokes and ready to get out there and lock one-on-one. And it's beautiful, that part. Then we get out of that and you do the jumping jacks or whatever and break off into individual. Now, in these individual drills, that's where you start to see that excitement level take another step up. DBs are catching the ball, defensive linemen working moves, rip and pull. You see them get real anticipatory for it because you can't wait to hit the other guy. All this, you don't want to hit the dummy no more. I want to hit the other lineman. I want to push the receiver. I want to run into the linebackers, things of that nature. So you see them go from that. And then all right, 7-on-7, O-line, D-line, one-on-ones. And they get all fired up about that. And that initial rep where you hear that clank and we go into each other and you're like, I missed that. I missed that. Now it depends on if you talk about first day pads or first day just helmets or shells, because O-line, D-line is going to be physical no matter what. We can go out there with no padding whatsoever and blow the whistle, they'll run into each other. And that's just what we do in the fronts. But helmet on and shoulder pads and ready to get after it, that we don't go straight to one-on-ones. You got inside run, or 3-on-3 with a running back and a linebacker behind them. All kinds of stuff that's happening there, Mark, but it's nothing like that initial first day because everyone has just been waiting for this moment. Shout out to you, Tim. Much love to you. Waiting for that moment to get back and not only to smell football or get close to it. Now it's here. Now we're taking stats, we're video and everything, and it's time to hit somebody else in the mouth. But it's beautiful, and it's the energy around it, and even over in the water cooler, people talking trash. By practice 3 or 4, we've had a couple fights because now you're tired and you're angry. You're like, I'm tired of running into you. Just move out of my way. Or a receiver. Some of the DBs like to mess with receivers and follow them all day. Your hip pocket all day. They go to drink water and they're standing right next to them. They try to go to one-on-ones or individuals in the corner or follow the receiver. All those funny stories you hear about those things and just the back and forthness that happens in training camp. It's usually super exciting. And people get the wolf beards and they haven't shaved in a while. Their hair looks crazy because it's about football. It's about football.